Hi students, welcome to first year class. In our previous class we have learnt about disadvantages of MNCs, then scope of e-business, okay, areas covered under electronic business we have learnt. Then we have learnt about advantages and disadvantages of e-business also. Like e-business provides us wide choice, convenient shopping, etc. etc. Now we are almost in the last topic of our first year commerce. Okay, after this we got one more topic, that is challenges of business in 21st century later after this. So this is the last but one class of first year commerce. Opportunities of business in 21st century. So this is the continuation of 21st century, you know. So in this class we are going to understand what are the advantages the present generation business communities enjoying. What are the favorable points available in the present situation for the business community? Means business community means any people who have entered into business comes under the category of business community. Means all the businessmen of the world, what are the advantages they are enjoying today in this 21st century, which was not possible for the previous generations, but present generation businessmen are able to have so many advantages. What are they? Let us discuss. The first advantage, first opportunity. Okay, first opportunity for the businessmen of 21st century is LPG. What is LPG? It is not liquefied petroleum gas, what you use in your cars and this one. Here LPG stands for in commerce or economics. LPG stands for liberalization, okay, privatization, globalization. So LPG stands for liberalization, privatization, globalization. Why this is opportunity for the current business people? Why not for the previous generations? So try to understand that in India particularly, this LPG industrial policy has come into existence in the year 1991. Okay, in the year 1991, then Prime Minister Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao, okay, under the Finance Ministry of Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was our ex-Prime Minister, they came out with a new industrial policy in which they brought in lot of reforms, means changes in the rules and regulations. Okay, reform means a great change or say modification of rules is called as reforms. So they brought in various reforms in the field of business and industry. First change they have brought in, the features of LPG, you will better learn in your economics, 1991 industrial policy. Okay, critically evaluate industrial policy 1991 is a very important question in your economics also. Just go through that, you will better understand this. So, liberalization. What do you mean by liberalization? Liberalization means leaving free, which was restricted earlier. Okay. Now, government left free all the organizations to start and close their business organizations without the permission from government. Previously, in order to start an industry in India, we had to obtain license from Government of India or from the concerned state government. So it was a lengthy process. We had to pay lot of money we have to move to different government offices. So as you know that how government authorities work, they used to delay a lot. So the project which we were expecting to start in a particular year used to be delayed for 4 to 5 years. So that discouraged the entrepreneurs to start their industries. That discouraged the industrialists to start up their industry. So to avoid that, Government of India abolished the licensing system. It means you need not take license to start up an industry. So anywhere in India you can start your industry and just inform the government that you have started so and so organization. So that is called liberalization. Means if you have got restriction, pakad ke rakhna. Liberal means living free. So industrial people are free to start their own organizations at any part of India. Why this was brought up is to encourage industrialists to start more and more industries, so that in India employment opportunities will increase, production will increase. So to see this, to encourage establishment of more and more industries by the businessmen, Government of India has brought up this policy. Liberalization means living free. You need not take license. You need not go to government office for various reports to start your organization. At any point of time, at any place, you can start your industry. So that was made through liberalization. Then comes privatization. Privatization means previously, before 1991, so many departments, so many sectors were under the control of Government of India. That means only government can start industry in that sector. But after 1991, what happened? Government has allowed private people to enter into that sector also, except 9 core sectors, like railways, defense, postal, telecom. In remaining all areas, government has allowed private people. So due to that reason only, we have seen that mobile services were launched by Reliance company, Tata company, various private mobile operators have come. Okay. So like that, Government of India has allowed private sector people, private entrepreneurs to start industries which were under government control earlier. Previously, government was thinking that certain sectors must be under the government control only, and around 40 to 50 sectors were there which were purely to be managed by Government of India. But government has observed that it was very difficult for the government to maintain all the sectors on its own. Investment was not sufficient, the management was not good, so those companies were struggling. Ultimately, the nation also was struggling. So in order to motivate, in order to boost up those industries, simply Government of India has allowed the private sector to those core sectors also, except 9. Except 9, remaining all sectors were allowed to be privatized. So quite naturally, you know that private management is very good when compared to government. So by privatization of those sectors, investments have increased, companies have started expanding their activities. Like that, business people have got opportunity to enter into other sectors also which were under government earlier. Then third one is globalization. What do you mean by globalization? Means you are allowed to enter the global market. At the same time, international companies were allowed to start their activities in India. Previously, this was not allowed. Every country, particularly India, was restricted, say it was not allowing the foreign companies to enter into India. So we were struggling with lack of technology, unemployment problem, lack of investment, and we did not have any exchange of information. To avoid all these problems, Government of India went for globalization. Means any foreign company can come to India and can start their franchise, or even Indian companies which are capable of investing in certain areas, they can establish their industries in a foreign country. So like that, we have started world market. So our market has increased. So it is very simple. Now, whenever your market opportunities increase, quite naturally, business opportunities will increase. That's what we are talking about. What are the new opportunities we have got? The new opportunities we have got is we can enter into private sector can enter into the areas where government was managing earlier. Now, various foreign companies can come to India. So, quite naturally, we get more business opportunities. And because you are liberal, you are given free hand to start your own enterprise. You can start any enterprise at any place of the world. So, that's how these three LPG has brought up a great change in the business sector. So, that has given various opportunities to businessmen to start more and more industries. Then, second one is increasing size and diversification. Increasing size because of this globalization. In order to anticipate the world demand, naturally every company has to increase its size. Means you have to establish a factory in a large scale basis. You have to install heavy machinery, produce more number of units, apply advanced technology. This is called as increasing size. So, when you increase size, what happens is your cost of production will decrease. You can minimize your expenditure. So, that will increase your profits. The other day I was telling you, when you decrease the cost, your profit will increase. Say for example, if I produce this duster at 40 rupees and I am selling at 45 rupees, I can get only 5 rupees profit. But if I can produce this duster for 35 rupees and sell for 45 rupees, I will gain 10 rupees. So, previously I was spending 40 rupees to manufacture this. Now I am spending only 35 rupees to manufacture this. How? Because I am producing more number of dusters. Previously I was manufacturing only 100 dusters per day. Now I am manufacturing 1000 dusters per day. Remember, when the scale of production increases, cost of production decreases. This point you remember. Due to various reasons, our cost of production will decrease if you increase the level of production. So, as your size is increasing, you start producing more number of units. So, your cost of production will decrease. That means your profits will maximize. Then diversification. What do you mean by diversification? Diversification means changing in the field. See, right now, I have established a college. Now I am in the education sector. Now, out of the profits of this college, I can move to hotel industry. I will continue the same. I don't close the college, but in continuation of this, I will invest some money in other field. I will go to real estate. I will go to electronics market. I will go to restaurant field. Like that, I will change. I establish a software company. I will establish a manufacturing of textiles. This is what called as diversification. Nowadays, you can see in the world, so many companies, they are not dealing only in one line. You take Reliance. Reliance previously it was popular with only petroleum. But today you see Reliance communication is there. Reliance various industries are there. Even you got Reliance retail showrooms are there. Reliance infrastructure is there. So they are entering into various companies, insurance, then manufacturing, automotives, communication, textiles, petroleum, like that. When you enter into different fields, it is called as diversification. When you diversify your investment, what is the advantage? In one area, if you lose money, if you are incurring losses, in the other area, you can gain profits. So that is the advantage we will have. That is called diversification. So that opportunity is there in this 21st century. Then increasing per capita income. What is per capita income? How do we get per capita income? National income of the country divided by population will give you per capita income. This you will learn in economics. National income divided by population will give you per capita income. So in this 21st century, because the industries are increasing, your national income is increasing. As your national income increases, per capita income increases. So what is the advantage for the business community if per capita income increases? See, once one individual's income increases means his standard of living will improve. He will spend more money on acquiring or purchasing goods. So individually, if you do not have money, you will not buy the goods. If you have got money, definitely you will spend that in the market to buy the goods, to fulfill your needs. So that ultimately increases the business opportunities. Previously, say you had only 100 rupees, so you used to buy only few things in the market. Maybe a ordinary product you will be buying. But now if your income has increased from 100 rupees to 200 rupees, definitely you will buy more goods. That means that will give an opportunity for the industrial sector to produce more and more number of units. So people will change from inferior quality to superior quality. So the transformation of economy will take place. That is the great advantage. The standard of people will increase. People will buy more and more number of units. So that ultimately creates demand for the goods. So that is the advantage we have got in 21st century. Then fourth one, market economies. Economies means savings. Economies means savings. Means in this 21st century, because of the improved technology, transportation system and increased size, you can save lot of money on marketing of your goods. So you need to spend every company after manufacturing of goods, you have to transport commodities from the factory to the godown, from there to consumer's place. You have to advertise, you have to store the goods. All these are called as market distribution overheads. So when you got large scale business in this level, so in this 21st century, because of increased communication sector, improved transportation facilities, we will be able to save lot of money on marketing of goods. That is called as market economies. Then technological advancements. As you know that every day we are observing that lot of changes are taking place in the technology. So day by day new machineries are coming. With that we will be able to produce better quality goods. That is the advantage. Technological advancements means new machinery is coming day by day. As you see in mobiles, different mobiles are coming every month with advanced features. So similarly in the field of industry also, new machinery is arriving, okay, day by day with various advancements that will give you scope to produce better quality goods with reduced cost of production. That is also a great advantage for the business community in this 21st century. Next, expansion of financial services means various banks and financial institutions like ICICI, IDBI, IFCI, SFCs, etc. They are giving more and more loans. Earlier these were not there. These financial institutions and banks were not having funds. They were not extending the financial services. But today, any entrepreneur, any industrialist who wish to start a business can get capital from various banks. So when you get capital, it will become easy to start your business. Then scope for international business. Today, because of this globalization, we can expand our market to various foreign countries. So you can anticipate the demand of world market also. By selling your goods in foreign countries, you can earn more money. Then government support and encouragement. In the recent times, particularly in this 21st century, in order to improve industrial sector, in order to eradicate poverty and unemployment problem in India, government at central and state level is encouraging various business people to start and run their organizations. The problems of industrial sector is being solved by government in an effective manner. They are supporting by providing capital, by giving subsidies, by providing electricity and water at reduced rates, by providing land. Okay, government is encouraging always the industrial sector because they know that industries are the backbone of Indian economy. If industries are not there, country cannot survive. Government knows that. That is the reason government is encouraging a lot. So they are always prompting to run the business organizations in an effective manner. Then the last one is entrepreneurial opportunities. In this 21st century, lot of upcoming entrepreneurs. Who is an entrepreneur? Who has got the creative idea, who can innovate something is called as an entrepreneur. Okay, in second year we will learn about entrepreneurship. So every businessman is not an entrepreneur, but every entrepreneur is a businessman. Entrepreneur is a person who innovates something for the first time, who comes out with a new model, a new design, a new product is called as an entrepreneur. So in the recent times, Government of India and Government of Telangana are encouraging upcoming entrepreneurs. Even in newspapers you might have seen, lot of encouragement is given for startups. So government is supporting them by providing capital, by giving training to entrepreneurs. So more and more number of entrepreneurs are coming to start their own enterprises, so that ultimately is giving scope for the business.